Hi everybody, it's Vic from SpiderV. Welcome back to the channel, and just before we begin, a big congratulations to everybody that took part in the Fatal Fangs Week 1 and who have got through to round 2. Big competition is carrying on now in the spider community. So yeah, we've got a few South Africans that are taking part, and so far they're doing quite well. 2 of them are through from round 1 into round 2, and there's another one that's taking part this week called The Bugman's Life. That's the name of his channel, and I will be taking part as well, and my clip is going on for next week, from next week Sunday onwards. So yeah, so have a look, and if my clip is better than my competitors, please vote for me, but if his is better than mine, rather vote for him. We're trying to keep this as fair as possible, and so we're encouraging people not to vote for the person that they like the most, but not necessarily, but the clip that is the most vicious and the most impressive. So anyway, let's get back onto this video, and well, what I want to do is just defend spiders, because you know they've got a stigma attached to them that they're poisonous and they're out to get people and so on, but it's really not the case. You know, for me, if I walk into a room and there's a spider on the wall, its main instinct is to either stay put and hope that nobody detects it, or it runs away, or if you get it into a position where it doesn't feel like it can get away, then it'll try to defend itself. But considering how many times larger a human is than a spider, you can sort of understand that it's going to be a hell of a lot more afraid of you than you are of it, just based on size. So obviously they do get pretty afraid, so they'd rather avoid contact with humans altogether. So but anyway, let's get on to this video, and hopefully this brings a little bit more truth and light onto the spider, and what its use is to us, and why we should rather protect them instead of killing them. Right, so let's clarify what I just said in the previous clip. Spiders are not poisonous. People seem to think that spiders are poisonous, but there's a very different definition to poisonous than there is to venomous. Spiders are venomous. Now, the difference is that something that's venomous has fangs or some way of delivering a toxin into your system. But spiders, obviously with fangs, they'll bite their prey and inject venom. Something that's poisonous, if you swallow it, for example, it will poison your system. You can't swallow a spider and have it poison your system. It has to actually physically envenomate you to deliver its toxin. But meanwhile, something that's poisonous, depending on what it is, like dart frogs, for example, they've got a poisonous excretion that comes out of their skin, which the Amazon tribes use as a poison to put onto their arrows when they go hunting and so on. So, poisonous is not venomous. Spiders are venomous, not poisonous, just to clarify. Now let's just have a look at this little guy here. How many people would want to squash a bee as soon as they see it? Nobody. They're harmless, aren't they? Friends of nature. They pollinate plants and things to, you know, and fruit trees and those kind of things to create food for humans. But obviously nothing sinister about these guys. So, like I was showing you, bees and wasps, people kind of leave them be. Spiders we like to kill as soon as we see them. But let's have a look at what venomouspiders.net has to say on the subject. There's some interesting statistics that they've brought up. Spiders in the USA, 6.6 fatalities yearly are recorded. So let's call it seven fatalities from spider bites in the USA are recorded every year on average. Human deaths from horses, there are 20. Human deaths from dogs, 31 yearly. Bees and wasps, 53. And people themselves, through homicide, murders, that kind of thing, are over 15,000. So it does kind of bring a little bit of a different perspective as to how dangerous a spider actually is. These statistics will show you quite evidently that they're not as bad and not as deadly. It's really not as bad a statistic as what we think. You know, we've got the stigma attached to spiders, like I said before, that, you know, they're scary, they look funny when they walk, you know, they've got a creepy way of moving, and that kind of triggers a fear in us that makes us think that they're actually worse than what they really are. Now, here's some other interesting facts as well. NewsScientist.com states that there are over 45,000 species of spider on the planet. So what do spiders eat? They are insectivorous, or basically carnivorous. They eat other insects, other invertebrates, and in the rare case a small amphibian, small mammal, or small bird. So now we get on to how they actually help us. Now, what are they eating? They're eating problem insects and insects that carry potentially harmful diseases to humans, like mosquitoes and cockroaches. Mosquitoes, obviously everybody knows that the main disease that everybody talks about with mosquitoes is malaria. It's a terrible disease, and it is transmitted primarily through bites of mosquitoes. There are other diseases as well that are carried by mosquitoes, but obviously for the sake of the length of this video I can't get into those. So some of the stats that I took were from unicef.org, and they claim that over 1 million people per year die from malaria. Mosquito populations are quite a big number, but with the amount of spiders that there are in the world, those numbers are actually being kept in check through the ecological balance that spiders bring. Now, there are other insects as well that carry terrible diseases that are harmful to humans, like cockroaches carry the polio virus and the salmonella virus as well. Now, spiders obviously eat cockroaches and keep their numbers in check as well. So are they not doing us a service by being around and taking out these problem pests in the darkness where we can't see them? Now, I found a survey that was done by some Swiss and Swedish scientists. Now, they also incorporated that there was over 45,000 species of spider on the globe, and they estimated with their studies based on spiders' metabolisms, how often they eat, based on the temperatures of the various months in the year, because obviously colder months their metabolisms are down, warmer months their metabolisms are up, and they will eat obviously a lot more than what they would in winter months. So the survey came up with the figure that spiders on the planet at any given time, in the space of 1 calendar year, would eat anywhere between 400 and 800 million kilograms of insect protein. So those are huge numbers. So we don't really know what to compare it to. So what they did was they had a look at sorry, I'm just having a look at my notes here. The United States Food and Agriculture Organization put out some stats as well, and they estimated that human beings would eat, in the form of protein like fish, poultry and red meat, 400 million tons of fish, red meat and poultry in 1 calendar year. So in actual fact, spiders on the planet, according to the survey that was done by the Swiss and Swedish scientists, spiders will eat anywhere from equal to double what the amount of protein humans do in the same amount of time, 1 calendar year. So that is extremely significant if you're considering what spiders are eating. Insects that are harmful and carry harmful diseases to human beings, those are being kept in check. Probably animals as well that are detrimental to crops, that kind of thing, that affect human consumption and human foods. So there's definitely a huge need for these animals. Whether we like them or not, they have a definite part in the ecosystem. So this is why I encourage people, rather, if you find a spider in your house and you don't want it there, instead of killing it, rather put it in a jar, take it outside, or get somebody to do that for you. But don't kill it, because it is definitely in some way or form contributing to a safer and a more balanced ecosystem. Well, that's it from me, from SpyTV, and I really hope that this video has been informative and that you guys will now think twice before squishing that poor spider that's sitting on your wall or in your kitchen, and rather taking it outside and letting it live out its life, and potentially help you as well by eating those pests that you don't know about that are lurking in the dark. Anyway, but I hope you have a great weekend. great day, great evening, wherever you are. Cheers from me. Be nice to spiders.